Welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard. We are there. We have made it to the regular season, and it's the first episode of NFL Predictions 2019. I'm joined by Smokey Rameriz once again. How are you doing, Smokey?
Man, I'm really good. It's actually here. Like it's football.
It's
season.
time.
Yes,
it's time. We're waiting half a year, every single year for this moment. We've gotten there, and now it's also we've had a preseason. The NFL players had a preseason. We've had a preseason in the sort of practicing our predictions. Now it's serious. Now, like today starts the scorekeeping, and this is a competition, by the way. So we're gonna keep track of our picks. We're gonna keep score and see who scores the best as a predictor at the end of the season.
Definitely, and that will be me, by the way.
Okay, is that a bold prediction? You want to put a bet on that? You want to put a bet on that?
That's my first bold prediction right there.
Okay, it's a 50-50. Not sure how bold that is, but I would have to actually disagree with that. Speaking of bets, by the way, that's going to be something we're going to introduce after we do our predictions. We are both semi-betting men, and we like to have some fun with some friendly competition, and we have already come up with a couple of NFL-related bets for the upcoming season, and I'm sure more of them will arise as we keep doing this show throughout the season. But some of those that we already have, we're going to lay out for the audience in the second topic after our predictions, and make some winnings for me here. Let's get into predictions though. Week 1 of the NFL season, starting off with the oldest rivalry in league history, the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears. Smokey, what do you got?
Man, I have the Packers on the road. I think Aaron Rodgers is getting back into the swing of things this season. I think he's going to be ready to go week 1. I know that defense, I don't predict this to be a very high-scoring game, but usually the Thursday night games for week 1 is not usually high-scoring games in the first place. Everybody's trying to fill their way through the first game. But I do predict that Aaron Rodgers is back in full swing and the Packers take this one.
I do agree with half of what you said. Aaron Rodgers is going to be in full swing. It's not going to be enough to beat the Bears, though. Best defense in the league. I mean, you have the best quarterback in the league, but your offense and your defense, especially if your Green Bay is subpar, and the Chicago Bears are the more consistent, more complete team, and they're going to win this game. First disagreement in the first game. It's bound to be an interesting season.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one. So, Redskins and the Eagles, another divisional matchup.
There's no way I'm not taking the Eagles on this one. Carson Wentz is back in full swing. It's kind of a Aaron Rodgers deal. Carson Wentz is going to be back in full swing. He's going to be back to MVP caliber this year, and the Redskins are a dumpster fire. They are garbage. I don't even see them putting up very many points at all in this game. The Eagles' defense is not bad overall, so definitely going with the Eagles in this one.
It is an Aaron Rodgers type deal, but only to the point where the fact that Carson Wentz actually has a competent team around himself that will allow him to make the playoffs without playing like Jesus Christ himself. I do definitely agree with you. The Eagles probably top 5 team, Redskins likely bottom 5 team as it looks right now. Easy win for the Eagles at home to open the season. My opinion there too. No disagreement there. Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets.
The Bills and the Jets. The Jets are at home in this one, and this is the only reason, because I almost see this like a 50-50 game. If they were in Buffalo, I would be taking the Bills here, but since they are in New Jersey, I'm taking the Jets.
See, I've got the preseason records in front of me, and I'm seeing the Bills at 4-0 and the Jets 2-2, and I'm not trying to let that deter my pick, and I'm gonna stick with what I said. I'm gonna pick the New York Jets. I believe in Sam Darnold. I think the Jets gonna make a massive leap forward. Is it gonna be better than 8-8? I don't know, maybe not, but it's gonna be much better than last season. Jets are one of the most likely teams to double their wins if I had to take that bet, maybe second to the 49ers. But the Buffalo Bills have been looking good in preseason. I like Josh Allen, I like the way they're going. Yeah. They just cut LaShawn McCoy, which I believe you're going to have something to say for sure in the fantasy football topic later. Yeah. And he's now in a new destination, which is going to be interesting. But New York Jets for me at home over the Bills to go for 0-1. Your Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings.
Guess who I'm picking?
I wonder who you're picking, man. Who are you picking?
Falcons on the road to take this one. I think the Falcons defense will be back in line. All of our missing defensive starters are back with us, and we didn't suffer too much loss in the preseason. And the Vikings have a great running game going on right now. Which I assume they're going to get a lot of yards on the ground against the Falcons.
See, I really want to pick the Vikings here just to rub it in, but I'm gonna be a smart person. I'm gonna go with the Falcons also. I think they are the slightly better football team for their offense. Now, if Kirk Cousins and their wide receiving core will click, the Vikings are going to be top 5 team or top 10 team at least. Higher ceiling to me than the Falcons. But right now, I'm going to actually go with the safer choice, the healthiest that Atlanta defense has been in a while.
Yeah.
And we know that the offense can produce. And if they will do so consistently, I don't know. But week 1, I'm going to give them the win, despite really wanting not to. But I'm gonna stress this again. I don't have anything against the Falcons. I like to take. I don't prove it. No. The Falcons are arguably my favorite team in that division. Maybe I don't mind the Panthers either. I don't mind Cam Newton, but the Falcons are arguably my favorite team in the NFC South.
Hey, we agree on that.
That's surprising. Yeah. If however the Vikings were to win, I at least have a talking point next week. So we'll see. Ravens and the Dolphins.
Ravens and Dolphins. I've got the Ravens by a mile in this one. Talk about a run game, man. They are going to run right down the Dolphins' throat. I could see, however, Devontae Parker and Albert Wilson putting up a few catches in this game, maybe a few touchdowns through the air. See what Nick Foles has in store. I'm sorry, not Nick Foles. Fitzpatrick, sorry.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes. Either way, it's the same. Still applies. The Ravens are going to kill the Dolphins in this one.
I would agree. Ravens are going to win this game. I think they're a better football team. And if you're Miami, just a quick interjection, but what are you doing? You're trading away your franchise left tackle, Laramie Tunsil. You've just acquired Josh Rosen. Yes. I get you're gonna play Fitzpatrick, but you've just acquired your franchise guy. I know you're gonna do the exact same thing to him that the Cardinals ended up doing to him, and then he got kicked after a year for no good reason, right?
I can definitely see that happening.
Man, you gotta feel for my dude Josh Rosen, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, how can you be in a worse situation after 2 years in the NFL? How can you be? How can someone waste you this badly? I kind of wish for him to just end up in New England or something. Not even because I want the Patriots to succeed, because I want him to succeed. Because I know he can succeed.
Yeah,
man.
And
don't let this guy end up like Andrew Luck now.
It's almost like anywhere would be better than the situation he's been in for 2 seasons.
For 2 seasons,
the worst team in the league last season to probably the worst team in the league this season.
It's insane. And the teams are getting actively worse around him, too.
Exactly. I mean, they just dropped their leading wide receiver last season. And they were going to cut him if they couldn't find a trade partner.
Now Tunsil's gone.
And Tunsil, he's not going to have an offensive line to stand behind to speak of at all.
It's crazy. You can only hope for Rosen's sake that some competent organization will pick him up. Like the Saints, hint, if their star quarterback retires, or the Patriots even, in a couple of years. But Ravens in this matchup for sure. That's a deeper topic. We're going to stick to the predictions here.
Yes.
Chiefs and the Jaguars.
This one, it's going to be tough. I don't see Mahomes throwing, balling out in this one at all. I don't see him getting his 4 or 5 touchdowns. This was the only team, if I'm correct, this was the only team last season that kept him from scoring a touchdown through the air. And I could see that happening considering the Jags are at home, and this one actually is Nick Foles.
Yes.
But I'm still going with the Chiefs in this one. I think that offense is just a little too tough, and they're not gonna put up the points that they did last season in most of their games. But I still have them taking it.
All right, so your intelligence has prevailed over your your want to take risk. Obviously, I'm also gonna pick the Kansas City Chiefs. They have to be up there on the list of Super Bowl contenders this year. You're coming off of an incredible MVP season as Patrick Mahomes. You still have Andy Reid. You have pieces in place like Travis Kelce. Your defense can only get better. Let's be honest, from what it used to be. Even though you did trade away arguably your best defensive player in D Ford. But the defense was bad last year, and I've said this last year also, if the Chiefs' defense were to play just average, the Chiefs would be the best team in the league because of that offense. I'm gonna go pick them. Jaguars have not won a preseason game, not that it matters much. I think Nick Foles is an average player. I think Patrick Mahomes is a transcendental player, and the Chiefs are gonna win this game. Titans and the Browns.
Well, there is no way on this earth that I would be picking the Titans over the Browns right now. I would be picking the Browns over most of the league right now, especially at home. The way those kids are playing, Baker Mayfield is going to be dominant in this one. He has his pick of anybody he wants to throw to. They'll all catch the ball. Nick Chubb's going to run all over them. Titans are going down bad in this one. This could be a big blowout here.
All right, thought experiment, right? What if the Steelers were coming to town week 1? Are you picking the Browns still?
That's tough. If they were coming to Cleveland, yes, I would still be picking the Browns.
Wow. That would be a major monkey over the back game, by the way. If that ever happens, Browns beating the Steelers at home, which there's a good chance of this happening this season and finally shifting that division around. We'll see. I'm also going to pick the Browns here. I think you said it best. The talent on offense is unmatched, and the Titans defense is going to have. It's just going to be overloaded. There's no way of stopping all these weapons down the field at a time. I think for that defense, gonna go with the safe pick, which is weird to say because it's the Browns, but it is the Browns, and we live in that world now where the Cleveland Browns are a huge favorite to win a lot of football games this year.
Sounds crazy, but that's the truth.
It's the truth. The Rams and the Panthers.
Now this one's going to surprise you a little bit. I am predicting Super Bowl hangover, and the Panthers are taking this one at home. Cam Newton is a full go. He's ready to go in this one. Jared Goff brings that super offense to town and gets beat in a close game.
I like the pick, first of all. I'm not going to agree with it. I'm going to pick the Rams, but this is going to be a close game. To me, this could easily be one of those week 1, if you want to call it an upset even. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see the Panthers win this. I think the Rams know that they're going to need to step it up from what they did last year in terms of securing their playoff spot. Because the division has become more competitive. They have seen the Seahawks, even though losing all their talent, still remaining in top position. They've seen the 49ers offseason and draft. They've seen Jadeveon Clowney most recently come into the division. People are stacking up there. I think you have 3 teams in the NFC West that could reasonably win 10 games. And the Rams they're gonna have to feel the urgency, and they're gonna go to Carolina. They're gonna win that game. To me, because they're the better football team. Super Bowl hangover. I think Sean McVay is going to be dealing with that pretty well, and I'm going to pick him to win it. But it wouldn't surprise me if it went the other way. Bengals and the Seahawks.
Well, this one is in Seattle.
Yeah,
and I don't think that would matter.
No, if it was in Cincinnati, if it was on the moon, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter.
Definitely going with the Seahawks. They're going to run the ball straight down the Bengals' throat. Andy Dalton's probably not going to do much of anything in this game. You'll see a little bit of Joe Mixon getting his touches in, and that's probably about it. Tyler Boyd, probably can put up a few catches against these cornerbacks here. No AJ Green, of course, but still, that's not going to be enough to stop the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the hero here. Definitely picking the Seahawks, not taking any unnecessary risks. I think Bengals are arguably the worst team in the league. And one bet that we have come up with is founded on that, and we'll get there. We'll get there in the second part of this in the second topic of this podcast, obviously, which this would be an interesting statement that I made.
Yes.
To me, the Seahawks are going to win that, no doubt. Now, here's an interesting one. The Colts, recently out of luck Colts, and the LA Chargers.
Yeah, this is a tough one because I would definitely have been picking the Colts if luck was still there.
Definitely?
Yeah, well...
Chargers are a good team.
Yeah, it actually is a little closer to 50-50 than that. But being that it's in LA, which is not necessarily a home team advantage for the Chargers because they don't have fans. They don't have home.
It's traveling though. It's traveling. That's the main advantage. Not even the fans.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, if Andrew Luck was there, I would definitely be going with the Colts. But I'm going with the Chargers, the Melvin Gordon-less Chargers, because he will not be.
Yeah. Interesting approach. I would have been like, if Andrew Luck was there, then I would have started thinking, and I would have been like, this is tough. Now I got to make a decision. I got to look into details. But now I'm definitely gonna pick the Chargers. I think with Andrew Luck, this will be a close one. Without him, it's not gonna be. This is now a difference in class. The Chargers are a good team, and the Colts are a mediocre team without Andrew Luck.
Yes.
Should be a reasonably simple win for a very strong defense that Jacoby Brissett is not going to be able to deal with perfectly week one.
No, not
49ers and the Buccaneers.
This is going to be a high-scoring affair right here. I can definitely take the over on this one if you're a betting person. Bucs are at home. And I do see the 49ers putting up points in this one. A lot of points. But I'm taking the Bucs at home.
Wow.
I see Jameis Winston is starting his road to redemption right here.
You are calling me a Falcon hater.
I don't hate the 49ers.
You gotta pick the Buccaneers.
Yes.
Really? Okay. I'm gonna come up with an interesting betting idea for this later, but for now, I'm just going to say this officially. I'm going to pick my San Francisco 49ers. If I were not a 49ers fan, I would still pick them. That's always the disclaimer I bring with it whenever that is the case. When it's not the case, I obviously don't. But in this case, it is the case. I believe that they can win this game. And on a playoff, or road to the playoff, which you best believe I have studied carefully for this team, this is a must-win game because the schedule only gets harder from there, and this is a game that has to be won on the road in Tampa Bay, and I believe they can do it. I'm going to pick them. Giants and the Cowboys, another divisional one.
And I'm taking the Cowboys. I don't. Yeah, they're at home. The Giants. The Giants are a dumpster fire as well. This is almost like the Redskins and the Eagles, the same division. You know, this is a division of two teams, and the Giants and the Redskins are on the outside looking in.
Yeah. See, I don't hate the Giants as much as a lot of people do. I don't like them as much as I would the Eagles and Cowboys even. Yeah. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna pick the Cowboys because it's the safer pick. This one wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, it wouldn't. It's a divisional game. It would not surprise me if the Giants walk out of there with a win.
Yeah, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but the Cowboys have a much better team at this moment.
Yeah, I do agree with that, so I'm going to pick him. Even though Giants undefeated in the preseason, Daniel Jones was looking pretty good. I'm just going to say, was my number 2 quarterback in this draft. Yeah. Not so bad. People have
liking Daniel Jones right now.
Listen, I've never hated him, but we'll see where this goes. So Lions and the Cardinals.
Well, this is another high-scoring affair, I believe. And we're going to get to see that air raid offense that Cliff Kingsbury has been talking about for 9 months. You know what? I'm going with the Cardinals just because they're at home, even though I expect Matt Stafford to throw a lot to Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones. And, man, I'm almost talking myself out of it here.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, Kerryon Johnson's gonna run a lot. I'm gonna stick with the Cards, though.
Okay. See, this is a tough decision for me because generally the Lions to me better football team, but this is just the classic, first like NFL debut offense.
Exactly.
No one has it on film. No one knows really what to do. But this is going to be like the Colin Kaepernick situation where he takes the league by storm 1 year because no one knows him, no one knows how to stop him, and then next year he's just bad because people have figured him out. This is potentially what can happen, unfortunately, to the Lions this week. And it's a tough pick for me to make. I'm gonna pick the Cardinals because I just believe in that effect so much. Picking the Cardinals, by the way, does not mean that I picked them to have a winning season or anything even close to that. This is one game.
Yeah, exactly.
This is one game. They're probably going to go 1-5, 0-6 in their division. They're probably going to lose most of the games this year. But this one, it's a debut. It's people don't really know what to do about it. The next team next week will be able to take a look at it for a week on film and figure it out. But the Lions are going to fall victim to that.
I agree fully with that, actually.
Steelers and the Patriots. Old classic.
Yes, this is the rivalry for the ages here. You know what?
You doing it?
I'm doing it. I'm taking the Steelers on the road.
Oh, because it's week 1.
Yes, it's week 1, and Belichick is known to drop week 1 games.
That is true. That is true. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I have to pick the Patriots. It's the Patriots and the Steelers. I mean, it's always been the Patriots. How could it not be? The Steelers have gotten a lot worse, and the Patriots arguably not at all.
They're due, man.
But like right now,
yes,
they're in a worse position than ever.
In week 1, I don't think
they didn't get it done. They didn't get it done when they had the best running back and the best receiver in the league. Now they have neither.
Well, I wouldn't say that though. Juju's going.
Oh yeah. We have another bet lined up for that. Right. That's coming up later.
Big Ben will probably throw a lot in this game because this will probably be a shootout as well. Now that I think about it.
All right.
I mean, Tom Brady's getting old. I mean, he's not getting any younger.
He is.
Edelman's not getting any younger.
Well, Edelman's still good.
Yeah.
You've seen come on, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not gonna come out here and tell a Super Bowl MVP that you're about to drop off. I don't believe that.
He's got a fractured thumb or a sprained thumb or whatever he is. His thumb is
also
injured.
Yeah. Also, N'Keal Harry, I think the rookie receiver, is heading to injury reserve. So that's a bit of a blow, obviously, to the Patriots. But I'm gonna go with the safe pick. I'm gonna go with Emperor Palpatine here. I'm gonna go with Bill Belichick's Patriots to win it. I'm gonna go with that defense to get stingy at the right moment, and it's gonna be a win. It's gonna stay in Foxborough.
One quick note about that, though.
Yeah.
Before we move on, Demaryius Thomas was re-signed because of N'Keal Harry moving.
Yeah, he was. So our fan theory is still possible of seeing him line up at tight end.
Yes, it is still possible.
We should make a bet out of that one, but that seems too good to be true. It just seems to fit so well, and if someone came up with that, it would be Belichick. Maybe he'll do it. He won't do it all year. Then, like in the Super Bowl, he'll do it.
Yeah, something like
and
that.
And then he'll go off for 140 yards, 2 tutties, and then he'll be the hero again.
And then he'll be cut at the end of the season.
Yeah, obviously, right? But he's won a ring, so what does it matter? Texans and the Saints.
Texas and the Saints, and it hurts me to say it, but I'm going with the Saints. The Texans have gotten better throughout this week, adding Laramie Tunsil and Duke Johnson. And,
gotten worse on defense, though.
They have, of course. They lost Jadeveon Clowney, but I don't see the defense being that great this season. But they're not going to be horrible.
No, they're not. They're still going to be okay.
At home in the Superdome, they're going to kill them. Deshaun Watson's going to have a great season. Don't get me wrong here. Okay, maybe kill him is a harsh word, but they're going to roll over them, and it's gonna
is that less harsh?
Well, it's gonna piss me off. Whatever they do to them, the Saints are gonna win, and I'm gonna be mad about it. So,
wouldn't you suspect that I mean, you talked about Super Bowl hangover with the Rams, that the Saints have an even stronger hangover than the Rams even did, because they arguably lost in a much, much worse way. The Rams just had no chance. They just had no chance in that whole Super Bowl. But the Saints were supposed to be in that Super Bowl, and they weren't.
Yeah, the year before that as well. And it didn't work out last year. I was hoping for a damn playoff hangover or something.
So you're hoping for the Saints to lose anyway?
Of course. I mean, I'm picking them to win because the odds are saying they're going to win. That's
a good point. I'm also going to pick the Saints to win because I think that Drew Brees is going to have a better season than Matt Ryan. But that's not even related. But that's related to a bet that we have, which is coming up soon.
Game at that.
Yeah,
Drew Brees always balls out in primetime.
Always. In New Orleans, too. That's his home. That's his dome. He knows what to do. Yeah. He's going to win this game. Broncos and the Raiders to close off the weekend.
This is a tough one. You know what? Man, this is really tough because.
Is it tough?
Yeah, both the teams, no matter what Hard Knocks has taught us, both teams are still dumpster fires. Broncos, they have the more experienced quarterback, but he's not very good. Better wide receivers on the Raiders.
How many drives until Drew Lock takes over? Give me an over-under of 10 for the season.
I don't think he makes it past the game. Well, okay, I'll say they leave him in for this entire game, and Drew Lock takes over in game 2.
Game 2? I'm gonna probably say like game 4, game 5, because I'll say game 4, game 5, because coaches can't really justify themselves, changing starting quarterback after week 1. Because they're kind of digging at their own integrity there. But that's beside the point. Yeah, that's beside the point, though. I'm going to pick the Broncos in this one. I'm strongly convinced by the Broncos. I think one of those teams is a dumpster fire. And here's one thing that nails this down for me. Not a lot of teams have gone through more changes in this offseason than the Raiders have. You could point to like a handful, but not a lot. And the Raiders certainly have. And so have the Broncos to a degree. But the biggest strength of that Broncos team is something that is one of the most consistent things in a football team because it relies so much on individual talent, which is pass rush. And you have Von Miller and Bradley Chubb on those outsides. It doesn't matter what team they are and where they're playing. They can have 9 high schoolers around them, 11 on offense, doesn't matter. Those two are going to beat their guys and they're going to impact every single game. Because the individual pass rushing one-on-one on the outside depends a lot less on scheming and team coordination than other things. So I think that's a massive advantage to the Broncos. I think the Raiders are in disarray. I don't see them winning a lot of games. Again, the Hard Knocks boost, hype, whatever, it could be a thing. They might win it. They're at home after all. I'm going to go with the Broncos, though, because they are the better, more consistent football team to me.
Well, you mentioned the Bradley Chubb and the Von Miller, which does give them it's not always enough to swing the momentum, because when we've seen a Paxton Lynch or Brock Osweiler, name any of them, it hasn't worked out, and I don't see it working out too much for old Flacco. I'm going with the Raiders.
Well, Flacco, I think, he's old, obviously, but he's a bit better than those two guys you just mentioned.
A bit.
And you still have Drew Lock.
Yeah. Well, unless, they're losing 40-0, I don't see Drew Lock coming in this game.
No, not this game, I don't think. I think it's going to be about a quarter of a season until any coach will swallow their ego to the point that they'll bring in another quarterback. Would tend to do that. And also, you generally, optimally, of course, you want to sit your rookie quarterback for even a full year if at all possible.
Yeah, that's ideal, but it doesn't happen much these days.
Because teams can't afford to do it. If you draft him, he's expected to start week 1, especially if you draft him high.
Once Flacco starts stinking up the field, they're gonna boo, and they're not gonna have a choice.
Oh yeah, and that's the predictions. I'm gonna write those down. I'm gonna keep a book on all of those. Next week we're gonna review them, and we're gonna make week 2 predictions, obviously. keeping score of the entire thing throughout the season. Now, we mentioned this before, but we're going to throw it in before we get into your fantasy football thing. We have some bets. We have already some bets set up, and we have the odds set up, we have our picks set up. A thing that we have to still set up is the stakes that we're going for. And I propose to you that we go for some culinary specialties, more specifically football food, which is pizza and beverages, whatever beverage of your choice that would go with that, as the two sort of currencies for these bets. That way we can kind of define how valuable of a bet we put on things. So if you want to just go through this list and just reveal the bets that we've made so far,
yes.
And kind of pick a stake for those. So
yes.
Yeah, first one that we came up with is Drew Brees versus Matt Ryan. Drew Ryan, yeah, Drew Brees. Man, can you imagine Drew Brees or Matt Ryan to have the better 2019 season? The odds are 1-1, and I think the picks are fairly obvious to everyone who's been paying attention. But you pick Matt Ryan, I pick Drew Brees.
Yes, I did.
And I think that's insanity for you to pick Matt Ryan over Drew Brees, because Drew Brees is a stat monster on top of being an actual monster.
Well,
and,
when you play a lot of fantasy, you understand that Matt Ryan is also.
Well, Matt Ryan is just a stat monster, though.
Yes.
But he's not an actual.
What exactly are the parameters here?
Well, that's what we have to kind of figure out. But I think it's going to be a combination of record, like winning record, passing yards, touchdowns, and definitely passer rating, because that's one of the most important quarterback statistics.
Yes. Well,
and I think we're just gonna. I'd want to say we formulate it in a way that we say. If it's reasonably obvious at the end of the year by those metrics, then the bet is decided. And if they are too close to reasonably call it without a complete mathematical function, we'll call it a tie.
Okay.
So I think we can do that. So what do you want to put? You want to just go with one pizza? How about one pizza?
All right, let's do that.
I like this one. I'm gonna type those up as we go, by the way. So gonna keep book on all of those. One pizza is in the books. Next one that we have is also concerning the Atlanta Falcons. It's the Falcons win record, and we have an over under at 10. Odds are 1-1. You pick the over. Surprise, surprise. I pick the under. If it's exactly at 10, that means that there's a draw, no winner.
Yeah, because I think it's gonna be 10 or 11 myself, but
is it?
Yeah, so. Definitely picking the over means I'm also picking the nullification of 10. Yeah.
You sticking by that?
Yeah, I don't want to put a ton on this one, though, because it is the Falcons, and this is my Atlanta sport, so...
You want to put one beverage?
Yes.
Like a Monster? All right.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that works.
You do like Monster, or you put a Rockstar, or whatever? I'll just write down one Monster, and then we'll just come up with something.
Definitely.
It seems like a good one for that, too. Next one, my team, the 49ers, also over-under win record. The over-under is at 8. And the picks are just as you would expect them to be.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sticking with this? You're good with this one?
Read it out to me again. I'm
49ers win record over-under 8.
Yes.
You pick the under.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm sticking with it.
So you're sticking with it. All right.
I think Kyle Shanahan's unlucky streak continues.
You think so? You think everyone's going to get hurt by week 3 again?
Possibly.
It is definitely, obviously, it's already starting, Jerick McKinnon, just like last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, of course, a bit of a damp there, but I think this year they're going to be less reliant on him, and as long as the defense stays somewhat healthy, which has gotten a lot better, by the way, and definitely Garoppolo is going to be a big one. I also like sticking with this one. I propose also putting one drink on it. So one Monster?
Yes.
All right, sounds fair. Here's an interesting one that we've been going for. So the Jets winning record or playoff appearance in 2019. The Jets will either have a winning record or a playoff appearance this season. Now, I picked the very ambitious yes, and you said no. You gave me 2-1 odds.
Yes.
You still like this bet?
I do. I don't necessarily like the odds. I kind of like 1-1 better, but
well, it's 2019. I've proposed to you that we can do 2 over the next 2 seasons and make it 1-1 odds. If you like that better.
Now let's Yeah, let's do that. Let's do the next two.
So in 2019 or 2020, and it's 1-1 odds.
No, man. No. Let's do this season 2-1 odds.
Okay, so we do it the way we have it. All right, great.
We'll go with the original bet.
One beverage, is that fine?
They're not gonna get over the hump this season. We'll do one beverage, yes.
One beverage, all right. Which means that if I win, by the way, I get two.
Yes.
And if I lose, you get one.
Yes.
All right. It's an ambitious bet for sure, but I just like gambling sometimes. Colts record in 2019. Also, the over/under is at 8. You picked the over, I picked the under with Andrew Luck gone. So this bet was concluded after Andrew Luck retired.
Yes.
Obviously, if it was before, I would have not picked the under there.
Yeah, because I think that it's not going to happen right away, but I think Jacoby Brissett gets his legs under him and he holds it together. I don't think Brian.
Is it going to happen like week 13?
No,
that's too late.
No. I think within the first few weeks he's going to start putting it together. I mean, he has a great offensive line there. I think he'll hold it together, and I think he'll get him at least 8 wins.
Well, we'll see. You'd have to be 9 for you to win it, but.
Oh yeah, of course, but.
Okay, how about 2?
8, I don't owe anything, so.
How about 2 beverages on this one?
Ooh, that's expensive.
I'm reasonably confident in this.
Oh,
I'm feeling it. Whatever the opposite of hype is, I'm feeling it for the Colts.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's do 2.
Let's go with that. Writing it down. All right, next we have. Oh yeah, this is yours, right? Juju Smith-Schuster, and you can reword this again if you want to, but I've written down. Juju Smith-Schuster is gonna be the number 1 receiver in 2019. You pick yes, I pick no at 1-1 odds.
Yes, and let's go by fantasy metrics.
Just fantasy points?
Well, yeah. I mean, it would.
I guess we can do it the same way.
If you use PPR, that's going to average in touchdowns, receptions, and yards.
I guess we can do it somehow like the Breeze Matt Ryan thing, where we just take a bunch of stats and see if it's obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And see if it's obvious or if it's obvious not. If he's like tied first, then we just call it a draw. And if there's someone who's obviously better than him in most metrics, then you lose. And if he is the best, then you win.
Yes.
What do you want to put on this, man? How much risk are you trying to take with this one? How much do you believe in him?
This was a bold
back him up
prediction. Now. So
you got to back your guy up now.
Yeah,
what do you put? Put your money where your mouth is. What is it?
Whatever it is, you have to match it with your Tua prediction.
Oh, do I?
Yes.
You think the Tua one is not any more bold?
Those both came from the bold predictions. So
yeah, I think one is more bold than the other.
You think yours is more bold than mine?
Yeah, I think so.
You run the risk of losing. That's why you think it's more bold.
Okay.
I mean, anything against the field is bold.
Yeah, but Juju has a chance to be up there. I mean, okay, you know what? Let's do it. Why not? Let's go 1 pizza. How about it?
Yeah, let's do it.
1 pizza for both bets, which means the other one, which I'm going to read out, by the way, is also going to have the steak of 1 pizza. And that's going to be that my bold prediction, Tua Tagovailoa is going to be a Cincinnati Bengals starting the 2020 season. That's the way I've worded it. 1-1 odds, I'm going to say yes, you say no.
Yes.
Pizza on the line, written down. One last one that you picked. Chris Godwin is going to lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2019. Top receiver, and I think same sort of methodology as we did with the other ones. We'll combine the metrics of receiving yards, receptions, touchdowns, fantasy points if we want to do that, and see if he's clearly leading the team. If so, you win that bet.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you want to put on this? You want to put? You know what? I'm liking this bet for me so much. I'm going to put a full meal on it if you want to. A pizza and a beverage.
Oh man, I was just gonna go with a beverage on that one, but
okay. So you don't believe in it?
I do believe in it, but it's still a long shot. But not, I mean, it's not quite as bold as the Juju one.
No, it's not.
The Tua. All right. Well, let's just do a pizza then.
We're doing it? Full meal?
Yeah. No, not the meal, just the pizza.
Not the meal? Just the pizza. Okay. Yeah. Gotta be careful there. With just 1 pizza, I'm just gonna take the extra beverage from the 49ers and the Falcons ones. I'm gonna have a pizza party with JJ at the end of the season, and you can watch on Facecam with Holly. It's gonna be great. All right, that's all the predictions. of this week. That's all our bets so far. I want to introduce a concept to you, though, that you can feel very welcome to take this if you want to. We have predicted the Niners game, the Niners and the Buccaneers, and I always like the concept of an insurance bet, as I like to call it, which is that I'm going to offer you every single week to put a minimal bet on the 49ers opponent, no matter who it is. So are you willing to take that?
For the Bucks, what is the stakes?
That means I'm putting a small stake on the Buccaneers. Mm-hmm. I'm going to always bet on the Niners opponents regardless of whether I pick them or not every week. Just a small bet, and you can tell me whether you want to take it or not.
What is the bet, though? What is the stakes?
The bet is, well, the stakes is, it could just be one beverage if you want to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do it.
Let's do that. So I'm going to type that up later. It's going to be one beverage, 1-to-1 odds. I mean, obviously, I'll pick the Buccaneers to beat the Niners in week 1. And the insurance point is that either way I win. It's a very interesting strategy. But kind of the question that I ask myself is, would I pay $1.50 for the Niners to win a football game? And the answer to that is yes. And if the Niners don't win the game, well, nothing I can do about it. But at least I get my beverage.
Yes.
So to me, I can tell myself this is a win-win situation, and I'm going with that. Seems kind of suspicious maybe to listeners, but in my brain it does make sense for sure. We're going with it. Let's finish this up, but you have one last Final Fantasy update because the season is about to start and the final drafts are getting started over this week before the regular season. What's the final updates?
All right. Well, and actually, if you're drafting right now, this is going to be really relevant to your draft. Actually, I have a draft coming up tonight, so let's check this out first. This is actually breaking news. I don't know if you've seen this yet, Alex, but DK Metcalf listed as the Week 1 starter for the Seahawks.
Huh. Doesn't surprise me too much. Doug Baldwin retired. You drafted him. Hype receiver. I mean, why not?
All the hype was around Lockett,
But Lockett is a small guy. He's a small, quick guy. Fits in the slot. I think Metcalf is a good perimeter guy anyway, so throw him out there. Why not? Needed that. You needed to fill that exact position.
All right. Mark. He's going to be the X receiver, I believe. Marquise Goodwin and Dante Pettis to start on opposite sides.
Yeah.
For the 49ers.
No Debo.
Obviously not. I know you were hoping for Debo.
I mean, we're going to see some rotation, very likely anyway. That's usually what happens with receivers. And you know that Kyle Shanahan likes to play open formations and split it and stretch it and play 5 receivers sometimes a fullback and a tight end. We're going to see a lot of sharing in that offense, but it doesn't surprise me much because Marquise Goodwin is the veteran and Dante Pettis is arguably the highest ceiling guy coming in from last season. So not a huge surprise, but I'm expecting a lot of rotation anyway.
Yes. Cam Newton. I think we mentioned this already on the pod today, but Cam Newton is ready to go for Week 1. He's going to be in there. Oh, sticking with your 49ers, Breida was named the starting running back over Tevin Coleman.
Similar thing again. That means he's going to take first drive and second drive maybe, but then someone else is going to take third drive. You know how that offense works. There is almost no defined starter on the offense anywhere aside from quarterback and the offensive lines because they like to have that much rotation in it. I like that Breida starts. I think he's a promising guy. Tevin Coleman is more of a receiving back than he is, but Breida can definitely run it, and I think they're gonna be a great tandem. Obviously, it'd be better if Jerick McKinnon was in there too. Unfortunately, he's hurt again. But yeah, I'm not too shocked, not too opposed to it either. Not taking the starter thing too serious because there's no real one bell cow back in that type of offense. Definitely do like it though.
So do you think? Well, Breida's a late round pickup, a really late round pickup right now. So it is definitely worth, if you're still yet to draft, to go ahead and pick him up. Which, by the time this comes out, you're going to be cutting it close if you are. But there are a few drafts that happen after. I mean,
there might be leagues where he flat out went undrafted, and if you held say you pick Jerick McKinnon late, that's probably the best exchange you could do.
Yes, look for him on your waiver wire because he's probably there. Jordan Reed has suffered another injury apparently because he is not practicing now. Jordan Reed, oh my God,
keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, I don't know why they haven't replaced it. I like Jordan Reed, and I'm not saying I don't like him.
Slayer.
I do like Jordan Reed. He's a great tight end, but I just don't see why they haven't replaced him yet.
It's hard to do that with a player who could be great any year, but he just keeps getting hurt.
Yeah. Robbie Anderson, I almost said Rodney Anderson. Rodney Anderson is definitely not on track to play at all this season. No. But Robbie Anderson,
you wish you wish you were. You wish.
Robbie Anderson is on track to play week 1 according to Adam Gase. What else did we have? Josh Doctson went to the Vikings.
Yep.
Gruden also said that the Redskins offense will run through Darius Geis this week, which that offense is not much of anything. So place on that what you will, and Darius Geis is yet to prove anything.
Yeah, he's someone who also needs to stay healthy and stay consistent, perform, because he hasn't done anything so far.
Yeah, he's definitely had setback after setback, for sure.
Seems to be a very thematic thing with the Redskins somehow.
Oh yeah, and I guess that brings us to the two big ones, as it has been all throughout this preseason. We have Zeke and we have Melvin Gordon. And Zeke was looking promising earlier this weekend. They were in talks, and Zeke has actually came out today that he has flown to Dallas to be ready for the game in case they do reach a deal. So,
wow, all right,
still a little promising. Zeke wants to play for the Cowboys. He wants a ton of money to do it. Yeah. And Jerry Jones is stubborn. He's like, no, he'll take what I give him. And Zeke's like, no, I'm not going to take what you give me. I want what I want, or I'm not playing. So they keep getting close to a deal, and then the agents or whoever just backs right out of it and says, no, we want more.
Yeah.
So still up in the air. Now, Melvin Gordon, don't plan on him being there anytime soon.
No.
At least 8 games. He may sit out the whole season. He may just do that because he does not want to be on the Chargers anymore. And it is definitely possible. He'll be back in the same situation next season, but if he sits out the whole season, he may push them into a trade. They're not going to talk about any restructuring or anything to Melvin Gordon or his agents until after the season. And that is not making Melvin Gordon happy.
It's not a good situation there. It seems to be a stalemate situation.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks bad for Melvin Gordon right now, and he could easily end this snap of his fingers, but he doesn't want to right now. So he's not going to get Zeke money when Zeke gets his contract. Melvin Gordon's not going to get that kind of money. He's not going to get Todd Gurley money. That's what he wants because he's seen it. He's seen it across town, that Todd Gurley money. I came out with that guy, same draft class. We were on one level, and arguably now I have a better future because Todd Gurley keeps getting hurt. So I want Todd Gurley money, obviously. Yeah. He sees himself as a counterpart to Todd Gurley.
Yes.
He thinks. I mean, I'm not saying he's not either. I'm just saying this is what he is going through his mind. He thinks he's on the level with Todd Gurley, and he wants Todd Gurley money.
And that's tough.
Probably won't even get Devontae Freeman money. Definitely not from the Chargers. Somebody else might offer it to him next season, but doesn't look good for Melvin Gordon. So keep him on the bench. Don't drop him. If you really want to drop him, wait at least a few weeks in.
Yeah. Wait until you have to, I think.
But right now it doesn't look promising at all. So keep your Zeke and worry about Melvin Gordon.
Right. Final notes on the most important topics for this fantasy football season. Every fantasy player out there, of course, good luck in their leagues unless you're playing against me.
Oh, you know what? You know what? We forgot one topic.
Oh, we did?
LaShawn McCoy is now a Chief, which I'm sure everyone listening to this has heard by now. But the fantasy implications is this. Easy for me to say. Damian Williams. I don't see Damian Williams as a running back that Andy Reid ever really wanted to make the starting running back, because he has tried a few different ways to almost, I don't want to say sabotage or anything, but almost get out of this situation of Damian Williams being the starter. And this is just another kink in the armor, another wrench in the cogs. They're probably going to run a split backfield there. This is probably going to be a committee, and this could look really good if you have LaShawn McCoy sitting on your bench or on your waiver wire, because he could be really valuable right now. And he's worked with Andy Reid before, and Andy Reid loves LaShawn McCoy.
He arguably has less competition there than he did in Buffalo.
Yes, he really does. He doesn't have the rookie breathing down his neck, and
you got TJ Yeldon, Frank Gore,
ever ready Frank Gore running there at 50-something years old.
It's crazy, yeah.
And LaShawn McCoy's no spring chicken himself. He's up there in years, but he's no Frank Gore. But I think he still could be very valuable this season. So definitely keep an eye on what he does in week 1, and you could be using him in week 2.
Yeah, well said. I was never luckily, I think, never high on Damian Williams. Somehow instinctually, I just stayed away from him throughout this entire fantasy year. I didn't draft him in a single league, and I think after all that was a correct choice. I thought so before, but now even more so.
Earlier in the offseason, he was going in the first round.
He was going RB1 spot, which is not at all where I would have picked him, because the Chiefs are going to be passing offense anyway. With Patrick Mahomes and those deep receivers. So definitely agree with that. But LaShawn McCoy adds an interesting wrinkle to that offense, which we're going to be maybe talking about in the future if they keep lighting the fireworks like they did last year. So it's going to be interesting to watch. But this week, that is it. Let us know what you think. Leave your predictions in the comments. As always, last year, people did it too. It was great. I'll always be open to have some discussion. So is Smokey. Check this video out on my channel, Beyond Football, if you are on Smokey's channel. If you're on my channel, go check out the Trash Talkers. Link to that in the description. And as for now, thank you for watching. Leave your predictions. We'll be glad to discuss football with you. And next week, we're going to have payoff. We're going to have results. And football's back. First weekend, it's finally there. It's September. We're doing it. Couldn't be more hyped about it. Let's get it. Thanks for being here, Smokey. Until next week, and everyone else for watching, drop a like and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to see you in the next one.
We will. Happy football, people. Deuces.